Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Magic and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Black Ops 3 references to the children in the house, who we also know as Eddie and Samantha from the ending of the Origins cutscene. And before I start the video, I just want to mention this. This isn't really connect in directly with anything I'll be talking about in this video, but I think it's interesting nonetheless. So over 3 years ago, before Black Ops 2 was even released, Action Pact made a video about a Samantha's house theory. And the reason for that was because of the song that was played during the Moon Easter egg, or the Easter egg song in Moon, and it referenced a whole lot of things about Sam going home and all these other things, and that was the whole Samantha's house theory 3 years ago. Now we're talking once again about Samantha's house, which is interesting. So the first thing I want to talk about is this secret map, and credit to Liam for the winter. He's the person that I got this map from. So anyways, this map shows off a floating house that Samantha and Eddie are in, and if I had to guess, there's probably no true location to this house, because I believe the house is pretty much lost in space and time, and I kind of get that vibe because of all the diagrams surrounding the house, such as the 4 solar systems that appear on the diagram in each corner of the map. The map also appears to have time warps, and I get the vibe that the storyline is a hot mess taking place over several to infinite dimensions and universes. Now I want to go over this little note here written by who we assume to be Richtofen. We don't really know who wrote it, but we're assuming that it's Richtofen at this point in time. We are different but the same. I must convince the others. There is no other way. We all must die. The children will be safe in the house. Now I really don't know what this means. Obviously Richtofen is talking about there's no other way to do something. Maybe he's trying to figure out a way to fix the universe and mend the rift and everything. You know, the whole idea of zombies at this point. But, you know, we don't really know exactly what he's talking about. We don't know why everyone has to die. But once again, he does reference that the children will have to be safe in this house. And there's going to be a lot of references in this video about keeping the children safe. So the children are really, really important to the storyline. Moving on to the next thing we'll talk about are the Maxis radio message. Here's the first radio.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, I have one message that must be remembered at all costs. The child must be protected.
Now there's 2 things I want to touch on about this radio. First, I'm wondering why he is leaving this message in the first place. It seems that the message is not directed towards anyone, but just a general message for whoever's listening to it. Sure, it's possible the message could be for Richtofen, but looking at the way Maxis says this, it doesn't sound like it's for Richtofen. And also, why is he leaving this message? Is something wrong with him? Will he no longer be able to look after Samantha? The only conclusion I can really come to is that maybe he is dying or is expecting to die soon. Now, the second thing I want to mention is, why does he only refer to the child must be protected? Did something happen to Eddie? Because we know that Samantha and Eddie were both the 2 kids in the houses. So what happened to Eddie? So here's the second radio.
Day 66. The children are gone, and the house feels empty. I miss their laughter, their games. The sirens have not sounded for several months. I do believe that we may have turned the tide in the battle. But at what cost? The radiation levels from the fallout remain dangerously high. I can only pray I live long enough to confirm that my plan was indeed successful. And the dark presence that has haunted our dreams and infected every facet of our existence has finally been vanquished.
So after listening to that radio, now we know that both Samantha and Eddie are no longer in the house. Again, what happened to them? Why are they no longer in the house? Did something bad happen to them, or were they moved to a new location to be protected or something? He also mentions that the sirens have not gone off in several months, which to me is a sign that everyone is possibly dead. Anyways, he then states that the radiation levels are still dangerously high from the fallout. I'm going to assume that the plan that Samantha and Maxis both referred to in this ending cutscene was that these were nuclear detonations. That was the whole plan for Maxis. Now, it's possible these could be the rockets from the moon that hit the Earth, but I'm not sure that would fit the timeline properly, so we can speculate that maybe Maxis' plan was to launch nukes on Earth to kill the zombies that are attacking the world currently. Which is why Maxis said they may have turned the tide of the battle against the zombies. And here's the third Maxis radio.
The beacon is lit. I know where and when you are.
Now I'm going to assume here that Maxis is talking about Richtofen in this radio. Apparently, he's been looking for Richthofen, and now that he has found him, he wants to aid him in protecting the children. The next thing I want to talk about is this conversation that occurs between Takeo and Richthofen.
I do not understand your riddles, German. How will my path become illuminated?
The spirits of your ancestors are not the only voices you will hear, Takeo. Trust your instincts. Listen to them.
Last night I had a dream. I dreamt of a house with children.
Yes. Hold on to that thought, Takeo. In time, you will come to learn the significance of your visions.
So after listening to that conversation, we can assume that Takeo has been having dreams about the children in the house. This probably means that Eddie and Samantha have a connection with Takeo in some way, because there shouldn't really be any reason for Takeo knowing about the children. Also, Richthofen is well aware of the children in the house because he tells Takeo that what he sees in his dream will be very significant. This connection between Takeo and the children in the house is kind of similar to the connection between, let's say, the Weasel from Mob of the Dead, and how he kept hearing Nikolai in his head. He kept hearing the voice Nikolai over and over again. And this is also kind of similar to how Stuhlinger from Black Ops 2 could only hear Richthofen, and how when you were doing all of the Easter eggs in Black Ops 2 zombies, only Stuhlinger would be able to hear Richthofen. All the other characters would not be able to hear Richthofen talking to him. So quite possibly, maybe it's kind of the same thing. Maybe the children will only be able to talk through Takeo. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the multiplayer map called Infection. Now, outside of the map, there will be a floating house, and this could possibly be a reference to the house that Samantha and Eddie are in. It looks similar to the picture that we saw in this secret map. It's a house on top of rock sediment that's just floating in the air. So possibly an Easter egg reference to the house that Samantha and Eddie are in. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to click the like button and subscribe if you're not done so already. Also, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought about this video, providing any input if you want, any ideas you have. Also, feel free to leave any questions if you have any questions for me to answer. Hopefully you all enjoyed. My name is Magic, and I'm out.